welcome to another edition of In the Wings. My name is Philip A. Benson, your host, and joining me today we have Dana White Jr., second year MFA Technical Production candidate. Dana, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Excellent, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm from South Florida, born and raised in West Palm Beach, Florida. I have 5 sisters and a brother, so there's 7 of us, plus my mom and my dad. And I've been working in theater for the last 10 years.
Now Dana, how did you get your start into theater?
Well, I started in middle school. I know what you're thinking, but I did start in middle school. It was with a choir teacher who's putting on a performance of The Music Man. And at that time I was a performer, or I thought I was a performer. And so, you know, how much of a performer can you be in middle school? But
That's very true.
You do what you can. And I followed it through middle school, and then into high school. I auditioned for a School of the Arts in West Palm. And I got in for musical theater, and so that was a good time. But after a year, I kind of transitioned into technical theater. I found that I really like carpentry and a lot of the math problems that go into that, a lot of the problem solving. And so I kind of made my transition there.
I know that you're the technical director for our performance of The Garden of Rikki, Tikki, Tavi here at Florida State University. And we happen to be on the lovely set of The Garden of Rikki, Tikki, Tavi in the garden ourselves. Now, for those of us that might not know too well, what exactly does a technical director do in terms of the process of the show? What hand did you have in creating this wonderful masterpiece that we see on stage?
Well, I get this question a lot as far as what a technical director does, and it usually gets confused with the job of a scenic designer coming up with the idea of what the set should look like. What a technical director does is they take that idea from the scenic designer and say, now that we know what we want the set to look like, how do we build it? Moving from there, we go into the process of actually building the show. My responsibility as technical director and the responsibility of assistant technical directors is not to actually build the show. We do all the planning. So we figure out how to make the elephants, how to make them do the things that they do. In the show, you'll notice that they track on and off stage, as well as their trunks go up in the air and down.
It's great to meet you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, having a technical director such as Dana White Jr. here is such a tremendous asset to any show that you do. Dana, we thank you so much for joining us today on In the Wings.
Thank you.
What is your favorite thing about the children's shows?
Well, my favorite thing is
ice cream!
I don't think we can eat this on stage.
That's okay, I know the technical director, he won't mind.